everybody, and welcome back to some more FTB Skies 2. Today, we are finally going to be getting into Replication, a mod that will actually allow us to break down some materials, like this diamond stick actually, and be able to replicate them with various matters. It's a whole thing, and honestly, it's kind of cool. For us to start with the Replication mod, we first need to get some replica. To get this, we need replica ore, which we can get from a dripper with our beautiful little kitty. That was too much. I don't know if I'm gonna need that much replica ore. Well, looks like we're gonna make a stack of it. So then we're also going to need to get ourselves some of this polymorphic fluid, which means we're gonna need these polymorphic catalysts. That should do it. So now I just need to let loose. And there's the replica. Alrighty. Now I just need to redo this process 60 more times. After all of that, I landed myself with 5 stacks plus 47 replica. I don't know if I'm gonna need that much, but at least it's something good, okay? So at least we should know that if I need more than that, this is a pain. But for right now, let's just go ahead and move on to the next thing, which is now that we've got our replica, we need to start the network, which the first thing we're gonna need for that is gonna be our network cables. So let's go ahead and make some of those. I'm out of glass. I was kind of hoping I would be able to keep some of that, but that's fine. Oh, and that gets me even more cables. Oh, well, I made extra because I didn't know I was going to get more. Thanks, game. Okay, but now that we've gotten the cables, we can split off into multiple places. One to access the network, one to utilize it, and one that holds everything for us to utilize it. We'll start with that. For us to be able to hold our stored items, we're going to need these things called matter tanks. Now, I believe there's a total of 8 different kinds of matters in this, so that should be good. If I don't need this much, then I'm a little bit disappointed. Actually, it just occurred to me, wait, I think I remember seeing something. Wasn't there something in the FTB shop where, yeah, I could send in coins and I'd get a 64K storage of any one of the different matters. I technically wouldn't have needed all of these. I could have just gotten one of those things set up, but oh well, we're doing it on our own. We don't need to cheat like that. What do you think I am, a cheater? The answer is yes. But now that we got these, we need something to help break down the matter, which is of course where the disintegrator comes in. Well, that does decrease our containment by a little bit, but that's fine. So now we've gotten this baby all ready and raring. So if I put the disintegrator right here, and then we can go ahead and then put these cables right here, these Ben 10 looking cables. We can then put the tanks. Can I like put them onto each other and that'll work? We're gonna see. We're gonna experiment with this because we need to connect this to the network somehow. So we're gonna check. Just see if I can do it like that. I don't know if I can. I've never actually tried it. So we're gonna see if I can do it like this. Because if I can, then this should be interesting. So now that we got that, we just need to pump some power into this, which I should hopefully be able to do from right here at the back. So yep, there we go. Now we've gotten that. So now I just need to apply something with 2 kinds of matter. If I remember correctly, actually, charcoal is like really good with replica because it like does some fun stuff. So if I go ahead and throw this in here, this should then make the different matters. And I can stack it like this. I have an idea then.
Later.
Alrighty, so I just stacked them both up on the sides. So this way, this should work out very well. So there we go. Now we've got our matters in there, but we still don't have a way to actually get those things out. That is where the actual replicator itself is going to come in. So I'm gonna need a few of those hoppers. That way we can then go ahead and make ourselves our replicator. I'm actually gonna go ahead and make 2 replicators. And there's 2 ways you can replicate things. One is in an endless mode where I can set the filter right here. The other isn't really relevant right now. Power is not going in. Okay, I don't know why this fixed it. I honestly wouldn't call it fixed, but what I had to do was I just broke all the pipes and then replaced them all down. I also had to replace the ender gate when I had broken those because it broke off, so that could have also been something to do with this. But they're powered now. I don't like that I had to do that, but yeah, there we go. So now those matter tanks are empty. I never locked them though, so I'm gonna have to reapply that. So if I go ahead and throw those back in, we should find, yeah, we got organic there and earth there. Okay, so those are gonna just be moved now. So that's fine. So there we go. Now we've gotten those two, but having to go get the material I would need, that's not exactly something we want to do. So we want to actually be able to request the things we want. That is where the next few things we're going to need comes in. Firstly, we're going to need a direct terminal. That's very easy. We already got all the replica and the glass for that. So now we can go ahead and put this anywhere. I'm going to go ahead and plop another pipe here, and then we're going to put the terminal here. And now we can see inside of the network. Of course, we don't actually have any sort of recipes stored in here because yes, we are going to need to store some recipes for this. We're going to need to get ourselves this thing here called the identification chamber and a chip storage. Now I'm going to need a chest. I would like a normal chest, please. Why won't it just give me a normal chest? Got the chest, got the trapdoor. Now we can go ahead and make ourselves this baby. I don't know why I'm holding a pickaxe, but there we go. Now we got ourselves our identification chamber and our chip storage. Which, do I need to reapply power? Okay, no. This thing's powered. It's all well and good. This is fine. So there we go. Now we have our identification chamber and our chip storage. But what do those do? Well, the chip storage is going to be what's going to hold these memory chips. These memory chips, I believe, can hold, 16 different items. And how we actually put items in there is very simple. We put this chip right here, and then let's just gonna keep using my charcoal for this. We then go ahead and take this baby, and it's gonna start scanning it. Look at that. Ah, it's so freaking cool. It's a little slow, but once it is done, we should then find ourselves with charcoal in there. It does take it twice to scan it though for some reason. I don't remember doing that initially though. I remember it started doing it eventually later, but for some things it didn't. But there we go. Now we got that, so then we can go ahead and put this into here. And now if we look in here, we will find our charcoal. Now if I recall correctly, I might be able to do something funny. So yeah, that's 8, and each of these is 1. And then I break this down. Okay, no, they balanced it. All right, so for some reason, when I was doing Ocean Block 2, I was able to just make an indefinite amount of coal because it didn't break down the matter properly, and thus it was able to do shenanigans. It was actually kind of funny. Now, here's the thing. I don't exactly need coal or charcoal in this thing. So I don't know if this will allow me to put items out or not. Okay, no. So I don't actually know what this menu does. So I think we can't actually take selected things out. So I guess, yeah, there we go. Now we're just gonna have coal and charcoal. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, I'm gonna go ahead and start adding more things. I believe there are 8 different matters that I can work with. I'm also just gonna go ahead and collect all these coins, which is actually gonna be very helpful because what I intend to do is I'm going to see what matters I have. Once I have those 6 ones filled, then I'm gonna go into the FTB shop and I'm just gonna buy the 2 that are missing because that way we can just have this whole thing be filled up and proper.
Much later.
Okay, I've added a few things to the replication table. A lot of it I won't really need at the moment, but I did find out apparently I can put some of the powwow stuff in here and it works just fine. But I'm a little bit confused on something because let me show you something. The dielectric rod, dielectric paste, both those things can go in. The only difference is the dielectric rods need some of the metallic matter, which metallic and ender were the 2 ones that I ended up having to buy, by the way. Everything else was all stuff that I already had, so that was fine. But the dielectric rods have the same amount of the matters that it shares with the paste. But somehow I can only make 90 of the paste, and I can make 120 of the dielectric rods. I don't have that much of some of these matters. Because like this says I could make 90 of these, but I only have 34 of the earth matter. How on earth is it going to do this? I'm not entirely sure. And yeah, look, this is something else I want to show you. I never actually got to show you the replication in itself, but it's gonna start making the stuff slowly like that, and it's gonna start pulling it out. And yeah, it's using up the matter, so how does this thing expect to make 90? I'm genuinely curious as to how this is gonna go. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and speed these guys up a little bit. Just go ahead and make it even more wonky. That way it's like a little wave and things. Look at that. It's waving like it's an ocean. And you know, oceans like to go waving. But you know what doesn't like to go waving? Me, because I'm impolite. But yeah, here we go. We're reaching the final stretch here. So let's see. What's this thing going to do exactly? Because, like, it shouldn't be able to make 90. Like, okay, and yeah, it most certainly could not make 90 of these. I don't know what it expected to do. Why did it think it could do this? I think replication might be bugged in FTB Skies 2. Or it could just be bugged as a general rule. I don't know what this thing wants from me, but it's certainly not reality. Reality is not something this thing wants. It wants to try to transcend what's really going on, but little does it know, it's actually insane and belongs in an insane asylum. You need to be committed to replication. But seriously, I have no idea what to do with this if this is just gonna be bugged. I don't know if it's a bug with this or if it's a bug with the actual mod, but here we go. We got replication. It's really cool. I love it a lot, and it should hopefully be very useful in the days to come. There are ways I can automate the matter too. Like, if I was going to try to get more of these disintegration, not disintegration, these disintegrators, and have them all hooked up to certain auto farms, like say, if I had it hooked up to my log farms or my coal farms. But there's a few things that I could get this thing hooked up to that would help me be able to get even more matter. Or alternatively, paying a buttload of coins. But there is still one more thing here that I haven't actually tested out before with replication that I want to try. And that's this replication enclosure. Now, I have never actively seen this before, so it could either be very good or it could be very bad. So let's go ahead and just put this here. I don't know why it's in that, but there we go. So what this thing says it's gonna do, aside from completing our chapter, that's very good. It says it's going to increase our replication speed, but it's also going to increase the power output. So if I put this over it, it's a little faster. It's not too much faster. I honestly don't know if this is worth the power drain that that's going to do, because it is horribly insignificant. Well, either way, replication, it's cool and apparently incredibly bugged, but we did it. We completed a whole chapter for once, and of course we get ourselves our sweet money. Oh, I love money so much. The only thing I love more than money is opening up today's chance cube. Yes, it is that part of the show where I still never completed it, getting rid of the string, but we just need to open up a chance cube, risking my entire series for all your entertainment. And this time I've actually decided to do something. So I found out that there's these things called chance pendants. I don't know what it does, but it might actually increase my luck with the chance cube. So let's go ahead and see what happens. Chance cube! Okay, and Darko the Wise? Well, that didn't seem very lucky. Darko, I don't think you're making a wise decision here. Where's he going now? Darko, are you gonna follow me off the side or are you gonna die? He seems to have chosen death. Did you like this video? Good. But be sure to check out our last FTB Skies 2 video where we went to the end. Bye-bye!